Hello and welcome to the game Solve. There is very little um, content out there for Solve, and I wanted to make some just initial tips and tricks when you're playing a game um, to help people get started, and yeah, with some of the things that I look at and how I play. So this is mainly against other people. Um, Not so much against the AI. The AI play differently, and doing the campaign is an excellent way to learn that, like some of the mechanics of the game and how it works. Alright, so this video I want to focus on setup. So here we have just a generic human army against a generic AI. Bit of shooting, bit of combat, all that kind of jazz. Now I want to go through some of the basic things I look at and think about when I'm setting up. So, first of all, roll at the top tells you who is going first. So I won the roll off, so I'm going first. This may mean that you can rely on doing something first. So say I wanted, uh, yeah, so I'll go first. But anyway, first thing I want to talk about, point one, is looking at the the board. So looking at the terrain. So you can mouse over and you can see what things are. And if you hold your mouse over it, it will tell you what it is. Difficult terrain. Basically, all the forests in the game give you cover. So -1 to be hit when being shot at, but they halve your movement unless there's a few units that ignore it. So good place to hide your stuff if you are vulnerable to being shot, but will slow you down. So for instance, I put this unit of foot knights right in the middle of the back, trying to wander forwards. It will take longer to get through this wood, which could be a problem. You get impassable, you can't see through it, you can't charge over it, and you need to be conscious that you don't put things behind it. So if I put this directly behind this, I'd have to wheel and go off instead of going directly through. So it's only an issue really when you're really close behind it. It can really constrict your movement. And there's also chasms which you can see over but you can't charge over. And I think that is all the types of terrain. Okay, so next, sometimes you have objectives which turn up as circles in the map. Generally, you want to try and fight over them. They aren't the most impactful thing in the game, but they can lead to you having a win if you control them and your opponent doesn't, especially in tighter games. Okay, so now, next I would be looking at what I'm trying to protect in my army. So things I'm trying to protect are the more vulnerable units. So this one here is only defense 3, same this one, defense 3, so they are more vulnerable to being shot off. And the other unit that I'm most worried about is my captain, because although he is defense 5, he is also very few wounds and the most valuable piece. So it's like if I lose wounds on him, it's far worse for me because I've only got a few. Okay, so now, um, yeah, oh yeah, and when you're setting up to get cover, you want to be inside a wood. The little tree marker will appear, and it's when the center of your unit is inside the wood. So the absolute center of the unit is in the wood. So to maximize movement while still being cover, I'd maybe put them there. So I'm going to do a little setup here. So I'm going to put some cavalry. I'm going first so I can go and advance in the wood and have cover from this shooting light cavalry. I am going to put these foot knights here. They are a very solid combat unit and can fight well. So I'm going to try and hold with them, grind people down. Put the halberds over here, and then I'm going to pop the captain. So this is a way to look after your captain, popping it behind your unit. Okay, so let's get ready, and here we are. This is their setup. So, going from here, some useful tips and tricks when you're playing someone online. First of all, if they outnumber you, like my opponent does here, you can pass. So, which basically allows them to take the turn first. Um, this can be extremely useful. So, right now, if I want to see him, what he does first, I could pass. The reasons you don't want to do it is if I say I wanted to shoot first, so I'm worried about these goblins shooting me, so I'll shoot them first. But the reasons you do want to do it, don't want to do it, is to let them move first, and then you can counter their movement. So as soon as you select a unit, though, you can't go back, which is something that I think could do with fixing. But yeah, so I've selected this unit. I'm just going to shoot the short bows. I've hit quite well and taken off a few. Nice. Okay, but I'll leave them there, nice and protected in my woods. Shooting here, but I've got a nice save, but I don't do well on it. Okay, so now I'm going to pass, and I'm just going to let him go and do something. Right. Okay, so now some really useful shortcuts and buttons to use when you're playing someone. So first of all, charge arcs and where you can see where people are seeing. So if you hold the button X, you will see your unit's charge arcs. If you hold Shift while holding X, you will see your shooting. So I've got shooting from crossbows, and that's quite far, and this unit cav, which is shorter range, but yeah, up to there. And you can do the same for your opposition, holding C to see their charge arc. So he's got a charge arc on me at the moment, but no one else has. And holding Shift, I can see his goblin bows and where they can shoot. So yeah, an extremely useful thing. Alright, for that. So, next we are going to go in for a bit of movement. So, there's two things you can do. You can move forward and you can pivot. Just a helpful little trick, if you want to, if you're trying to work out the angles, because the angles can be difficult, it can be very easy. An easy getaway round is to just put move your mouse to where you want to put your unit. So say I wanted to advance right up the gully here, and I can do that, right? And what I'm going to do now is see if I've made it out of his charge arc. So I haven't. So maybe I could do something here. So let's try that. So if I just push straight up here, I'm outside his charge arc. Unfortunately, I can't reach him while being outside the charge. So those are the things I check. I do want the fight because I've got good weapons to fight this guy. So I'm just going to go up and say, yeah, let's do this. So let's talk a bit about flanking. AI is not good at this game. So it allows us to get flanked quite easily. People should be a lot more paranoid and less prone to giving you the fights you want. So yeah, I'm moving into this glass cav. I'm going to throw a few shots in, which did alright. Now I'm going to look at his arc. So he's actually in range of charging me, right? And he's looking down here. I currently can see him. And yes, this is another way to look at arcs. If you mouse over someone and hold, right? To get a flank charge, the middle of your unit has to be inside the flank arc. So whatever um, segment of the four your center of your unit is defines where you will charge on their base. So if I was, for instance, over here with this unit, that'd be really close. I almost can't tell which arc I'd be in. But where I am, I'm definitely in a flank, which is great. So that should be a very good fight for me. So I'm just going to leave these boys here. They're in a wood, protect me from more fire, because these are vulnerable units, only defense 3. So yeah, another good thing to do there. Yeah, generally, it's good to go with your valuable units last. So I'm going to save the movement of my captain for last. Just going to advance up here so we can see. Have I messed up? Can he charge here? Oh, it's very close. So there are a few things like this. The fact the wooded symbol is over my corner, I can't quite see. But yeah, mouse wheel also zooms in and out. Very useful, but more normal. So the way I can stop him doing that is setting up another flank. So here's the arcs for him. Most of my base is in the flank, and if I hold my charge arcs X, you can see my arc is up to here, and I can see him. So I'll pop that there, and I've got a pistol, so I'll take a shot. And there you go. Alright, take some cheese shots, rolls terribly, and I save decently. That's unfortunate for him. So, now we're getting into turn 2. Beginning of turns, you do charges first. So, you can mouse over to see who you can charge with what. So, I can charge him, but I can't see if he can charge me. I will just start by doing that charge here. He counters. I am going to charge the flank. You do have to kind of think ahead a little bit when you're playing, because the fact I'm charging here does mean his archers will be able to charge me back next turn. So you're trying to think of the consequences of your charges, because I could not charge, which would be a fine choice here, but I will charge, and he counters, so he can make the charge. And so the way counters works is if he is closer to me, or in a flank or rear, he can stop my charge. So I will turn off his charge, counter and intercept him, and this is because I'm in the flank. I'm not closer, but I am in the flank, so I can turn off his charge, and then I'll put my charge back on. You can't do this infinitely, so if you've got in some kind of loop, it will just stop it and say, stop that. And alright, so now we're back into general movement. So everyone who's not in combat can do things. And sometimes people with abilities can do things. So the captain's got an ability, it's add +1 combat score to everyone fighting this turn. I'll use it, it's a decent enough skill. So that burns a activation. I'll pop some more shots in here, hit terribly, and then he's cast a spell, Hex, to lower my defensive skill, which is a very good spell, but he's only got 3 attacks on the unit, so it should be fine. So this is the next thing. So if I was playing a human player, he would almost, it was very possible he would be eyeing up this charge into my rear from this goblin shortbow. Now, where I move my unit is the question. So I could move up. This may well allow me to intercept, give me a counter charge on him, so we can see we can make it. The other thing to do is not overcook it, so just go a little bit. I can reach him if I want that fight. Also, if these guys hold, I am setting up a charge on them. So that is what I'm thinking about here, and I'm just going to put it a little bit further this way. So still got the charge here valid, but if he stands, he'll reform to face me, and then I should be able to flank charge him, which should give me the win in that combat in the long term. Alright, there we go. So there's my activations. So I've done decently, and I've won by 1. Nice. Will he stand? He won't, which is great, because now I've got another charge on here. The captain goes, kills a couple. The griffin goes. Oh, very nice. 5 out of 6 possible kills. And I save his, so he should almost certainly run. Yeah, he would certainly run, because you need to roll -1 all R. So here's this, also another really good set of hits. Yeah, in general, it's often really good practice to plan for things to go wrong, and think about what will happen if they do. Because I mean, if things go right and you plan for them to go right, that's all hunky dory. But you will be a better player if you think, okay, if it goes right, then you're winning. That's lovely. But if it goes wrong, where am I? What's the state of affairs, and how do I um, recover? And sometimes there is no recovering, but sometimes you can. So he's just cast a pointless spell. Again, the AI is not amazing because I've charged in rear, which means he doesn't attack me. Only heroes can strike backwards. So on this combat and this combat, I'm effectively getting 3 hits on his units. So yeah, I'm going to move up just to get in short range, hopefully. In fact, I couldn't, so I definitely shouldn't have left the woods. I shouldn't have left the woods anyway, I should have just shot him, because I'm safe at a distance from him, but he is not safe from me. But yeah, here I don't hit great, I don't win great, but I've got 3 up saves, and hopefully they survive. Yep, so I'm alright. Win by 2, not great leadership, he does stand, so we will fight. Here we go again, not great hits, but no saves, he gets no attacks, I win by 3, does he run? No, again, double 1. It's brave, Goblin Soul. So he turns around. As soon as somebody stands and you're in a face, which isn't their front, they will face you, unless they're engaged in multiple fronts. So say I had the flank here and the rear as well, he wouldn't turn to face. Yeah. Okay. So now it's just finishing off the rest of this game, really. We continue to chase down the people we can. We go for this fight. I'm not sure it's a good fight because he outnumbers me on attacks. Because I'm 7 wide, but I've only got 9 guys, so 9 attacks, and he is 6 wides with a hero who has 2 attacks, so that's 13. So he actually out damages me. So this one, he is in range of charging me next turn, but as I said, he's got no threat from range. And I do, so I shouldn't engage him. What I should do is I should run away, and he'll gain on me because pivoting takes move, so I will have to fight him at some stage, but for now I can just avoid it and shoot him, take off a few and fight him later. So another win here, he does run. Here we go, that's terrible hitting, but unfortunately didn't save. 6 attacks. Need to save 1, otherwise I lose. I don't. I lose the combat. May run here. I do. This is where, after me calling the AI terrible, he beats me, which would be hilarious. I hit averagely. He saves averagely. He hits badly. I save. Average. So draw. So we continue to do it next turn. Now I could really do with this guy running. So far I've charged everyone who's fled. And if you charge while they're fleeing, they don't get a chance to rally. So yeah, so this is a example where you can't counter charge. So I would love to counter charge this unit, stop it charging me, but I'm not closer. I'm in the front arc, but I'm not closer. If my unit was here, say, in his front arc still, but I'd be able to turn off his. Yeah, need to be closer or flank or rear to intercept. So I can't do that. I'm not going to charge these guys because I'm going to set up with this guy. I'm going to move him around to set up after. And I don't have a charge here because I'm slow, because they've got equipment which makes them slow. So that is all the charges. So let's start with rallying this unit. I don't roll a double 6. Nobody rally off that. He moves up here. So Let's shoot him some. Now, if I was being playing well, I would again not let him fight me because I can get out of his arcs like this, and I'll do that. Someone rallied, that was his short bow, so I will follow up here. I was waiting to see if he rallies, so now I've just seen him fail to rally here, so I don't need to worry about this unit. It's going to run off. Ideally it'd be off the board. What I will do is first I will have a shot at it, although without great success. Well, it's fine, it's only 2 shots. And then I'm going to fly over, probably give myself a rear on this unit. So there we go, that should be the rear, and I'm not in anyone's line of sight. So it's very close, but he won't see through his own unit. So I'll be safe here to rear charge without being interrupted. The unit did not run off the board, so I get another chance to rally it. Save from his captain's attacks. I hit, not great, it's only a few dice. He doesn't save it though. And there you go, 3. So this is me losing the combat. I mean, as I should, there's only 6 of me. Still survived relatively well. So 5 or less to stick. I do stick. It's almost bad because we'll do a live demonstration. I'll charge here and add some combat score there. However, he'll just hit this halberd unit and he can overkill it. And if he does, it'll all add on to his score. So if I don't save well and he hits them lots, he could beat me by a lot of combat score. I do rally here, which is nice. And he doesn't, so he's going to be off the board this turn. And then I will lose the combat and I might run away. So again, I could just be a cheeky sod. So get some shots in, run off out his arc. The way to avoid what I'm doing to him here is to point your units, try and point them directly at the enemy with the no, I didn't hit well. So yeah, so he's already equaling me in combat score. This could be a loss. This could be me running away, which would be funny. Now I've saved well. This is probably saved my bacon. Yes, I've saved very well. Saved everything he did to me. So I shall be winning combat. So now if he runs, it's bad fit. Yeah, it should be all good. Yeah, so I was very fortunate. Well, no, it was a dicey combat. Okay, that's hit well, I'm hitting better, so I should, and he all dies, which is nice. I mean, that one is, I'd expect to win. Shouldn't win by that much. But, yeah. So, no charges on, so we will just go back through to phase. 7 turns is how long it lasts. So yeah, as I was about to say, if you want if somebody's looking at you, and you don't want them to be able to get round and try and escape your arc, I'm going to put my unit where he should try and do that. It's harder because I'm cavalry, so I could literally outpace him anywhere. But yeah, basically, the best way I think to do it is try and point directly at someone, taking into maybe a little consideration they're facing. So if he tries to run up here, say, he has to pivot, which costs him movement. So that is his preferred travel is this way. It's where he can make the most distance. So I'm trying to cover that so he can't escape. But yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. I'm not going to do anything else. He's not in combat. He will just rally there, and end of turn 7 you can skip by hitting spacebar twice, and there we go. And at the end it will give you a lowdown of what you've destroyed and what's been destroyed of yours and the points got. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it taught you something. Yeah, catch you on the ranked ladder.